looking for something. A new way, a new understanding, a connection, some comfort. You've got questions, and Light on Living puts the spotlight on all the answers so you can shine. Lift and lighten the load of life's challenges and learn simple and easy ways to live a healthy, happy life. You'll gain insight and start to see things in a new way that motivates you. You're invited to hear new, see different, and feel more as Lisa shines the light on living.
Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone, to Light on Living. I'm Light Coach Lisa, holistic nutritionist and life coach, helping to lighten the load of life's challenges. And as we are smack dab in the middle of our final week of the month of self-love, I actually couldn't think of a better theme and a better person to be sharing. This is what we're going to be talking about, which is freedom. Now, freedom, I love thinking about each one of these themes. And every time every time we do a show, we come up to this word and this theme. And every one of these co-authors of What Self-Love Got to Do With It has come up with a different word. There's literally no one who chose the same word, which is amazing because self-love is so different. And the one thing with freedom that I was having so much fun thinking about it, there are so many ways that I didn't consider how valuable freedom was, whether it be from my own thoughts, from my perception, from my clothes, from all these different angles. And I was so excited to have this particular show with our guest because she is just so amazing and free. And I just want to inspire and get everybody who's listening right now to look at their life where they might not be free and where self-love could benefit from them. And don't worry if you don't know how, because our guest, Dr. Erin Oksol, is going to certainly help us. So let me first of all say welcome, and then I'll introduce her. But welcome, Dr. Erin. Hello.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with everybody.
Oh, we're so excited to have you. And you're actually a rather unique guest because Erin, everyone, she does not have a chapter per se in the book, What Self-Love Got to Do With It, but she wrote the foreword because she's got a bunch of other stuff she's written. And she was I knew that they had to have her do the one, and it'll make sense too after I tell you why. So I'm going to share a little bit about Dr. Erin. So Dr. Erin Oksol, that's Oksol, I want to say that right away, is a high-performance business coach, psychologist, professional speaker, and best-selling author. She is the founder of Massive Business Success Coaching and also has a small psychology private practice in Reno. Her mission is helping business owners, entrepreneurs, turn their passions into profits, creating massive impact doing what they love. She recently was named as one of the top 20 most powerful women in Nevada. With 15 years of clinical experience, counseling and coaching clients, she brings her expertise in human behavior and change to help others go from where they are to where they want to be and create a business and life that they are obsessed with. I love that. She is married to Garth and has 3 children, Grace, who is 16, Emily is 13, and Zachary, who is 7. So there's a little bit about you, but there's so much more. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
It was so much fun reading your foreword because it does have an element, which all the chapters do, and it talks about, I don't want to say your struggle, but it talks about the life you had and the life you wanted and the life you're creating.
Absolutely. And I think, everyone can relate to that, right? And we're never done growing, Lisa, but mm-hmm. I definitely have never experienced this level of freedom in my own life. And it came through a lot of struggle. And of course, looking back now, it's really recognizing the meaning in the struggle. I never wanted to get to the end of my life and know that I didn't make meaning of my struggle. I always joke that I want on my tombstone, like, she suffered well. Just the idea of that is, like, she didn't waste it. She utilized and learned and then impacted others because of it in a positive way. And so I'm always kind of mining for the gold in the dirt, right? Mm-hmm. And there were some years of dirt. And, one of the exercises that has really changed my life is thinking about what 3 words would you want to describe your best self. And one of those words is free. And to me, freedom means I'm spiritually free, I'm spiritually fit, I'm free from the bondage of negative thoughts about myself. I'm free from what I call the 3 Ps, which are pleasing, proving, and perfecting. I'm free from believing all of my thoughts. I'm free to live my best life. I'm free to fail forward and often. So there's just so much that I am in love with in this concept of freedom.
There's so many good words there. And I want to ask you the 3: pleasing, proving, and protecting.
Perfecting.
Actually, and that's a big one. And you know what? I didn't really think about this before, but that is a bondage, the way we think we have to be or feel. And I never thought about freedom and that word until I was really thinking about it today with you. And so you actually, that's one of your struggles, was trying to be, or thinking you were maybe perfect. What was the perfection that's going on there?
I wanted to grow up and be perfect. I mean, if you had asked me as a young girl, what do you always grow up to be? I would have said perfect. And I mean, perfection and I were like best friends for a long time. And it served me really well until it didn't serve me. And, you know, perfectionism really is at the root of it fear. And so I now know I was riddled with fear of not being good enough or worthy, and never fully approving and loving of myself completely. And so the best way to shield yourself from that fear is to go and try to be perfect. And I mean, I had a good run. I mean, I got all the degrees. I did great until I didn't. And there is no freedom in perfectionism, right? There is no freedom in that. And now I really, I've learned to turn that on its head. And instead, I am a woman who strives for excellence. And that's it. I strive for excellence. And so there's always more excellence that can be pursued. There's always more excellence that can be experienced. There's always more excellence in ways I can serve others. There's always more excellence in how I can care for myself and my family. And so I just have fallen in love with excellence and not perfectionism.
I love it. It's kind of like you can't fail at excellence, but you can fail at perfect. Yes. I have to tell you the funniest little story, because I definitely wanted to be perfect. That's what I would have said. I wanted to grow up and be perfect. And so I came home to my mom one day. It was Red Cross came to the school and we got to donate blood. So they let us know our blood type. And it came back that I was A positive. And I came to my mom. I said, "See, Mom, even my blood is perfect."
Totally.
Looking for
Lisa. We'll get an A+.
Yeah. But, and that's actually such an interesting thing. So here you are you really did what everybody would think. They would look at you and think, she is so free. She's got this certificate. She can go to any school or do anything or any job. And she's got this fitness level and she can do this. And yet you felt so, when someone feels falsely perfect or falsely free and doesn't realize it, so one could recognize, a listener could recognize that could be them. What does it feel like to not be free?
That's a great question. So I recognize it as when one is living in that perfectionistic state, how they perform or what happens to them in terms of circumstances or what other people think of what they're up to in the world is directly correlated with their sense of worth on the planet. And when you live that way, it's very dangerous, because it can go really great and it can go really bad. And so it's this link of what you think of me matters. And not from a sociopathic way, like we care what people think of us, right? But it's direct link of how I'm doing is totally an indication of my worth. And it's a forgetting that you were always worthy. And I always liken it to this image, Lisa. I imagine looking at a baby nursery, all the little babies are lined up, and you look in and there's like 20, 30, 40 brand new babies. And we would never go up to those babies and say, now you deserve a really good life, but you over here, like you only deserve like 40% of a good life. We would never do that. And so somehow along the way, if that's true, then that was true for us. And so if it's true that bliss is our birthright and that we were always worthy, then the great news is any thought that is not that was simply learned or false evidence or lies or bad programming. And what's great about that is we can do something about that. And we can return to a remembering that there's nothing to prove, there's nothing broken, and bliss is our birthright. I feel like I'm preaching on a Sunday morning.
Oh my gosh, I love it though. There you go. Well, and we're going to keep on preaching because I have a huge question. So what happens to the person who's struggling between the difference of knowing, I feel like I know what you're going to say, but I'm excited, because you've hit some big goals in just striving for excellence. Now, what is the difference between proving and achieving a goal?
Yes. Okay, this is what I love. What a great tee up. I love that. So this is what we know about whether we call them successful people, whether we call them high performers. At the base of being someone who's successful and reaching their goals is a state of non-proving, and it's a state of it's just in my bones. It's of necessity. It's what I'm here to do. And at the base of that is joy and ease, which is fascinating. Oh. So if you study high performers, they're actually the most joyful, confident, and engaged people. Those are the three feelings they strive to feel. They strive to feel joyful, engaged, so they're just loving what they're doing, and confident. And they do these great achievements and have these major accomplishments without burnout, without fatigue, without stress. They never use the word hustle. They never use the word grind. I mean, it's fascinating. And so what would life look like? And this is what shifted it for me. If I got up every morning and I said to myself, I'm joyfully living my mission. That's it. How can I joyfully live my mission? If that's the case, there's nothing to prove. There's nothing. Your goals then become these wonderful ways of joyfully living my mission.
Oh, my goodness.
And so what's also fascinating about high performers is they do not come from a place of dissatisfaction, and they are not striving. So I'll say that again. They're not dissatisfied strivers. So they're not like ungrateful, dissatisfied with their life, pushing. No. Again, they're doing it out of joy. It's what they're meant to do on the planet. It gives them energy. It doesn't take their energy. You know, you'd wonder, like, how do they have energy? That's why. They're not pushing. If you're pushing, that takes a lot of energy. If you're proving, if you're pleasing, if you're perfecting, that takes effort. If you're joyfully doing something, it gives you energy.
It's easy to be engaged to it as well. You don't have to force yourself to keep, if you're not happy with your job or what your goal you're trying to do, and you're just like, no, I have to do this, and I'm forcing myself, and you're trying to find other things to really anchor you there. But I love the word engaged, maybe versus anchor then. I like that because you said joyful, engaged, and confident. So sometimes people say, well, I'm anchored because I have a pension waiting for me if I can get these 25 years in. And if I can just hang in there another 13 years, I'm halfway there. That's like an anchor, like a ball and chain versus engaged. Oh, I love that.
And, I'm a fan of easy, and I always say easy is not easy.
Yes.
That's easy. Okay, and what I mean by that is, and I see this all the time, people misinterpreting that easy must mean it's not as valuable. But easy means mastery. And so I'm a super big fan of asking, what's the easiest way I could do this? What's the easiest way I could save for my retirement? What's the easiest way I could grow this business? What's the easiest way I could connect with someone? What's the easiest way I could exercise? What's the easiest way I could meal prep? Because easy, that is the path of freedom. Hard is not. That is a lie. That life has to be hard, long, treacherous.
Yes, and keep pushing. You know what's funny?
It's easy. Like, what's the easiest way? For me, the easiest way to get fit is to hire someone to make me work out. Now,
right, yes.
My brain could say, Erin, you shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to work out at home. Well, I should, but I don't. So what's the easiest way?
Right. trying to find the thing. You know what's funny? This is such a cool thing that you're saying. We're really focusing on the sport, because I would sit here and totally, oh my gosh, agree with you and think, yeah, that's how I want to do it. But yet you are so right. I must have a little bit of judgment in me, because I remember just even recently somebody saying to me, God, I don't want to do that. I just want life to be easy. And I did have a subliminal judgment going, oh my gosh, that's so lazy of you. In my mind, I didn't say that out loud, by the way.
We confuse it. Yeah, we confuse easy with lazy. That's exactly it. You know, Oprah wouldn't be like, my life is so hard. Every day it's so hard.
Right.
She would never say that.
No. Oh my gosh.
She gets more done than 1%, 99% of the people on the planet. And that's right. For all successful people. They don't feel that weight.
Right. And you know what, same is true if I were to have told, one of my best friends, she's like, oh gosh, I haven't talked to you for days. And I'd be like, oh, I've been busy working. And I was like, and if I were turned around and said, God, it's so easy, I would have felt guilty, like, God, then I should have called you. I should have done this. But, so you're right. This is an interesting thing to do. So when you think about, okay, so we now know that easy is the good way. It's the pathway to freedom, because that really is. I love that. You're not pushing and hard work. The striving comes from a place of joy and engagement, and I love that. Now, we will have to sneak off to commercial, but there's something that you help people. It's in your, let's call it a tagline, or just your mission. It is your mission. But you say that you help people find a mission, get on a mission, and stay on a mission. And I would love to just talk about that when we come back, because not only do you have ways of helping people do that, but you actually really believe that, and that's a heavy word for you. And I'm going to ask you what a mission, how do people find that, because that's what you help do. So yes, and just a reminder, everybody, that if you are listening, to just pop on Facebook and leave a little post and let us know that you're there. Okay, we'll be right back.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. Om Times Radio. IOM FM.
Humanity Healing International is a small nonprofit with a big dream. Since 2007, HHI has been working tirelessly to bring help to communities with little or no hope. Our projects are not broad mandates, nor are they overnight solutions, but they bring the reassurance that no one is alone and that someone cares. To learn more, please visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me the Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on Om Times Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
Enjoy passive income benefits while creating a cottage experience for others. From a relaxing getaway to connecting with nature, sitting around flickering campfire light, dipping in cool, refreshing waters, strengthening your body with biking, hiking, boating, and swimming. And you have the cottage that could be a part of all of those memories while earning you money. Financial abundance as a thank you for renting your cottage. Become a cottage rental owner today, safely and supported. RentCottage.com.
Welcome back to The Cat Show. Up next, we have Nico. Nico is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right. A group known especially for their sunspot sleeping, ball chasing, leg rubbing, and of course, companionship. Just look how she struts.
It's like she owns the place.
And see how she curls up and cuddles her person.
The pitch on her purring is simply perfect.
Nice one.
Fantastic cat. But really the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Nico is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, we are back. We are here with Erin Oksol, and she has written the foreword in the book that we've been talking about all month and what self-love got to do with it. And she just has an incredible story because she just makes you feel like you could do anything. That's what I get from it all the time. And before we left, the word mission has come up, and a lot of people can, interchange mission with purpose. And Erin, I have a really, really neat question for you here. When I think of the word freedom, that's our topic, freedom. I think of something that would be definitely not be free. If somebody has not yet found their mission, I would feel like I can, embody that and feel like I would feel lost and in the unknown, and that isn't free. And I would just be tired and drained and sad. And so, if somebody hasn't found their mission, it's so not freeing, is it? It's not freedom at all. And how do they move from a place of feeling so lost and tired and sad to, how do you help them do that?
Thank you. Yeah, I used to be that person and lost my way years ago. But I want to take a step back and say something about this whole concept of finding your purpose.
Yes,
it's this big thing that you're on the lookout for. And how do I find it? Where is it? Why didn't I get one? And why did she get one? And this is what I want to say about it. It's kind of a lie, and this is how some of the greatest thought leaders in our time think about it instead. And one of them is Seth Godin. He's a New York Times bestseller. He's been on the internet since the 70s, one of the most prolific writers out there. And he says something that I really agree with. Instead of looking for your purpose, ask yourself, what kind of experiences do you want to have? What kind of interactions do you want to have? And how do you want people to feel after being with you? And that is your purpose and your mission. Now, we can do that in our work. We can think about what would that look like in our family. But you can find a bartender that is on mission, just as you can find a millionaire that's on mission. So the interesting thing about finding your mission and finding your purpose is actually more about who you want to be versus what do you need to do.
Absolutely beautiful. Oh, my goodness. That is so, I hope everybody really takes that in and explores that in their life, because that, first of all, does not just remove the perfectionism and the approval and all that as well.
The psychology of that question, asking, who do I want to be, is the simplest, most researched way to finding happiness. And what I mean by that is, if you ask yourself, who do I want to be, and then go out and be that person, you will be happy. It's almost a guarantee. It's as simple as that, but profound as that. So I want you to ask yourself, I want our listeners to ask, what 3 words would I want to be present as my ideal self? What 3 words would describe my ideal self? And they might change in your life, but those 3 words direct you then to how you're showing up in all the different areas of your life. So I want you to ask, how would ideal self Erin act in this situation? Erin comes home to her children. How does ideal self behave around them? And guess what? If I'm acting in line with my values, I have a chance of loving myself and loving my life. And
oh my gosh, there are so many beautiful, awesome things.
Oh, good. That is why I say there is freedom in discipline. It's a book I want to write someday. I just think it's awesome. But the idea of the disciplined person, and that being the way to freedom is, it takes discipline to create the habits of being the person you want to show up as. And over time, you will show up as that person. So one of my main words when I'm interacting with other people is, I want to be inspiring. So when you said I inspire people, that makes me so happy, because before I got on our call, I set intention, Lisa. I stood in a power pose and I said, I want to inspire people. Okay? If you go around with intention of how you want to be, a really good chance of people experiencing you that way. You know?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And you know what? I don't know that I actually have said that yet on the show, but that was perfect. I got your message too. And you know what's really interesting? So, and taking this a little, in a weird, not weird, a bit of funny way, I love this because I do embody that. And there's this big thing. I love animals so much that I don't ever feel like I look silly when I'm on mission. You know what I mean? And so when I'm out, I talk to my cats rather loudly and just full of love and positively. And I know sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, you're talking to your cats so much. It's only because I want to be so inspiring to others to go, wow, that woman really loves her cats, or you know, something so that it might be inspiring, because once we step out into the world and the public, we are leaders and we are inspiring on whatever level that is, and we can inspire freedom. And I think that's what I feel like you've done. And just a neat thing just to share, because you talk about the gym and you've talked about it a couple of times, you actually, and it wasn't like to prove to anybody, but it was you were on a mission and goal, but you've actually did some big stuff when you turned 40 physically.
I did. I got my butt in the gym about 4 years ago, which was around when I was turning 40. And I literally, to tell you the end of the story, became a bodybuilder with 4 trophies. And by bodybuilder, I mean up on stage in a string bikini. Okay, I did that I thought this psychologist mother was going to do. And what's interesting, that was never the goal. The goal, when I originally went to the gym, was stop eating Oreos. It was like just get disciplined enough because I knew there was freedom and discipline. And it was the last piece of my life that I was like, I just want to be disciplined there. And a friend of mine in the process said, do you want to compete and get on stage? And I said, heck no, I just want to learn how to eat so that I can stop eating Oreos. And, you know, a year later, I ended up competing. But in the gym, I really flexed my muscle of courage. That's really where it all started for me, of truly being. I was going to a place that I had never been before. I had never seen my body like that before. I had to, what I call, borrow the belief of my trainer. And that's a great tip right there. If you don't have belief, borrow the belief of someone else until you can get your own, and then you can hand it back to them. Okay? And if you don't have someone in your life that you can borrow their belief, find someone in a book. Like, I want you to think, I want to create my board of directors. Who would be on my board of directors? Okay, Oprah would be there, and, you know, other people. What would Oprah say? And I consult my board of directors, and I become the best version of myself. But, you know, I learned in the gym that confidence is sometimes overrated. And I think that's great news. And what I mean by that is I never had confidence that I would get on stage and win. I didn't even really believe it after I won. I did that with complete fear because I was on mission. So your mission will propel you to do things that confidence never will, or belief in yourself, or motivation. Like, that's overrated.
Oh my God.
It was. I did the things that I wanted to do, and I started loving myself, and I was proud of that, and I was proud of the girl that was going for it, and I was proud of being the woman that was taking the risk. And that's really where I really fell in love with, like, pushing myself out.
I feel like you've just given so many people like a get out of jail free card, which is freedom again, back to there again, because there are so many, and now what you're talking about isn't just a self-belief, it's just like a mass consciousness that we like what we said about confidence. And there are sometimes, yes, out of fear, but sometimes if we fear failing or not being perfect and things like that, that fear will hold us back. But when the fear is just, this is just new, this is fear because it's the unknown, but it's backed by what you said and aligned with core values, I think that's the biggest way. And one of your tasks, I don't know what to call them now, one of your things of your shared messages of doing something is believe in ways that are consistent with your stated values. Now, if we could just go on that for a second, values. How would you define a value, and how would somebody even figure out what theirs are?
Yeah, so values, it takes people through what's called values clarification. And it's just a fancy word for who do you want to be. And so think, okay, different areas of your life. Let's take health. I wanted to be, I valued being disciplined, having self-control, and being in integrity. Because at that time, I was kind of coaching people on health stuff and, biting the back, room, eating Oreos. That was out of integrity. And so I wanted to, my values were being integrity, discipline, and self-control. Now, it's really hard to really like myself if I'm not being who I value being. So the best way to grow your self-esteem and self-worth is to behave in ways in line with your stated values. If you want to be a loving, patient mother and you are slow, quick to anger, and you are, spouting off all the time, it's going to be really hard to dig yourself. It's going to be really hard to like yourself and think you're kind of winning. So the values is like your compass. It's like, what's the goal? Where are we heading? So that at the end of the day, when you're heading to the pillow, you can say, I was the person I valued being today. My circumstances might not have been what they wanted. My kids might have temper tantrum, and I might have, yada, yada, yada. But in the face of all of that, I was who I wanted to be. And what's so freeing about that is you are not then at the whim of circumstances and other people's behaviors. So I could literally say I was the mother I valued being if my kids had tantrum all day. I would be exhausted and, maybe a little upset, but I would be the mother I valued being if I acted the way I wanted to act.
That is actually, not once have I even thought about this whole month. And I want to say thank you for this, Erin, is I never thought about, I'm always big on saying, say you can't jump, in affirmations, you can't jump from here to here, so just do one step better. I never thought about talking about self-liking, but you're going to like yourself before you can self-love yourself. And that's huge right now to me because, and then how does one person do that? And you just kind of said it. You figure out what your values are. And as you live your values, you start really liking yourself. And I like how you said it. You dig yourself. You do.
And in the process of all that, you're becoming a disciplined person. And that's where I think, again, discipline can get a bad rap, but discipline is awesome. Discipline is freeing. The narrow path is the freeing path.
The non-wavering. And I think that is actually really cool.
Yes.
I can tell you right now how many times I have not been disciplined and then berated and guilted myself and was horrible to myself because I kept saying, I can't believe you did that, Lisa. Like, how could you do that? You know not to do that. And and it's so hard to get back on that path. And so that's so beautiful that you're saying, I'm so love that you are like just raw discipline. This is awesome.
Right? I like to say I'm bringing sexy back to discipline.
Yes, you are, and I can't wait for that book to come out of all the things. And so in saying that, this is a huge thing. Liking yourself is one thing, and then being the discipline and doing things you like. And I love that you said when other circumstances come up or other people's behaviors, and that's a tricky one, like what you just said. Being a mom and your children are with you 24/7, and they're having their own temper tantrum or talking back or doing whatever they're doing, is there something else that we can do? We know our values, and now we're challenged because we have these things. Is there other steps, too, that we can walk through to help us continue that?
I think there is. So one of the techniques I love teaching is the power of the pause. Ooh. And all I mean by this is becoming a person that observes yourself, becoming a person that can think about your thinking, becoming a person that can observe your feelings. So you can imagine being like a newscaster that's aiding every thought in your brain. So right now up there is overwhelmed by his children and goes to leave the house and leave that. So, that's right. Feeling like a really bad mom. Right now, Dr. Erin is having this thought back. Okay? When you get a thought, you have a chance of saying, wait, do I want to sign up for that? Do I want to cancel that? Do I want to delete that? Act on that? Do I want to, do I think that's even the truth? And even if you feel like it is, what would be my next right action? irregardless of how I'm thinking? What would be my next right action? Or why does it make perfect sense I'm feeling this way? Because I want to be, a great mom, or I'm frustrated because I want to make money in my business and it's not happening yet. Okay, that's a valid feeling. So I'm a big fan of showing up for your feelings. I'm a therapist, feel your feelings.
Yeah.
They're there to give you information. And so asking yourself, why does it make perfect sense that I'm feeling this way right now? Oh, that's why. Why does it make perfect sense I'm jealous or fearful right now? Oh, now what can I do? I can pause and then I can pivot. So we pause and then we pivot. So you can say, wait a minute, what do I want to do with that? How do I want this to go? I have power in the pivot.
I actually am freaking out.
Right?
This is amazing. Now I'm feeling really guilty for missing out on so many paused moments that showed up in my life. But we have 1 minute before the commercial, because I know there's a few more steps, but I want to highlight that, and I want to express a lot of gratitude. I got to thank you again here, because that pause you just gave me about, probably 8 things that I could be doing in that pause, and that is powerful. First of all, acknowledging, and then choosing, and then validating, and then checking in. And, oh my gosh! And you really do have become a powerful person in that. So everybody listening, in about 20 seconds, we're off to commercials, but when we come back, these steps are so valuable, and they're all easy, and they're remember, easy is the pathway to freedom. So when we come back, Erin Oksol, and just sharing with us how to get to self-love the easy way.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. Om Times Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine and tune in for Inspired Conversations with publisher Linda Joy on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Linda creates sacred space for leading female luminaries, empowering authors, heart-centered female entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers. A soulful venue where guests openly share the fears and obstacles they've overcome, wisdom and lessons learned, and the personal journey that led them to the transformational work they do in the world. Inspired Conversations to empower you on your path to authentic, soulful living.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
All right, we're back for the last segment of Light on Living with Lisa Berry, and I've got just a lovely, lovely guest, Erin Oksol here, and she has done the foreword to the book, What Self-Love Got to Do with It, and we're going through some things that I just really want everybody to hear this one thing. Okay, nobody's perfect, which thank God, but every one of us has made a mistake, and that just means that we are not going in the way that we thought that we wanted to. And here's the thing, it is not a prison. Just because you've made a mistake, it's not a prison. You can have freedom. And I love how Erin's taking us through some things, because Erin, I know that, say I, got into a fight with with a boyfriend or something, and all of a sudden I acted out of line that I would have liked, and then I stopped for a second, and I don't, I don't want to hate myself for it, but I do have a moment that I could, as you said, we do the power of the pause and say, you know what, yeah, I have a right to be angry right now. This was not a nice thing that just happened. However, in walking through those steps, you've said that we can now do, say, yes, I validate it. I'm not happy, and I would like to act in a different way because I want to be a better person for myself. And then there's something called the pivot. And what was the pivot now?
The pivot is the choice. The pivot is, okay, I'm feeling this way, or this just happened, and now what do I want to choose? So I'll give you an example. So when I first became a professional speaker, I was really scared, and so I validate my thoughts. Why does it make perfect sense I'm scared? Oh, it makes perfect sense because my whole childhood I was told I was terrible at telling stories. Oh, and now I'm a professional storyteller. Like, seriously? Okay. So I kind of validate, it makes perfect sense. I pause. Okay, you're safe now. These people, love you in your audience. They're here. They're here to support you. And the pivot is, okay, I'm going to choose to believe that the rules have changed, that the rules are no longer the same, and that I have become a very good storyteller, and I am here to live my purpose. And if I believe that lie, that I'm terrible, I won't go out and speak, and then I can't live my mission. So here I go. Like, the choice is, and I'm going to choose to think differently, or I'm going to choose to behave anyways, or I'm going to choose to step outside my comfort zone. So the pivot is the choice.
Mm-hmm. I like that because I love that you said, the rules have changed. This is huge, and I'll tell you why I really love this one. Say somebody is really, maybe it's not the complete opposite, like in your situation, you ended up doing something that you thought you'd never be good at, and there's a lot of people who have done the same thing over and over but in a different model and just haven't got there. But and I find this because I know a lot of people are searching for the right career, let's say, or the right partner, or the right mate, and they just, they're thinking, well, I just keep trying and I keep failing. But the thing is that they pause and they have that switch around and make a choice. I'm choosing to continue this because I really want this, something.
In perfect sense, I'm frustrated because this is the most important thing that I want in my life. Yeah. Wow, I have some passion around this. Like, it makes perfect sense I'm frustrated I haven't found the man because I want to find him. Like, it's okay. Yeah. I think that when we judge, that's where we get into really dangerous territory, when we judge our own feelings and judge our own states, I'm frustrated again. I'm so sick of being frustrated. Well, okay, why does it make perfect sense? I'm frustrated. And now what's the next right course of action? What's the next step I can take? Because you move from the problem to stepping into the solution, right?
Yes. And funny, I used the word earlier, and I really want to be reminded, and you just did again, so I'm happy. You use the word dangerous. I love that you use that because people don't really take that word seriously, but it is. You know what? When we are not acting with our passion fueling us and the way we want to, and then it is dangerous because we will put ourselves into prison.
We will. The prison of shame, the prison of self-doubt, the prison of not enough-ing ourselves, the prison of, on and on, right? I mean,
I love it.
Those 6 inches between our ears can be a great place to hang out, and it can be a dangerous neighborhood. Right? We've got to mind our mind.
Yes. Aww. And so once we do that, because I love you have one more little step in there too, is we've validated, we've made a choice, we have passion around this, so we now know that, okay, this is what it is. What do we do now?
This is what I love. I love Nike's "Just Do It" phrase, and what's genius about that is we can take action. So I think action can get a bad rap too, or can get it can be minimized. So it's not enough to just mind our mind and believe it's possible. One of the things we know most from psychology is it's very powerful to behave our way into different thinking. Most humans think it's the opposite. Most humans think, I need to think my way into different behaving. So it looks like this. I will go to the gym when I'm, ready to go to the gym. I will go, I'm sure I'll fail. I will go when I feel like I, get my ducks in a row. I will go when I feel confident. Yeah. No, you go to the gym and you be like, Fear, let's go. You're hanging out with me. We're going. And over time, the behavior of going to the gym quiets down the chatter of the negative thinking and changes your thoughts.
It really does. I love that you said that. Behave our way into different thinking.
Different thinking.
Oh my gosh, That is so cool. That is
so. I didn't get on stage in a bikini because I felt confident. I got on stage and then my confidence went up a little bit when I came home with the trophy. It's the opposite way around, right?
Yes.
Opposite. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and action is so big, and I'm so grateful that the book and the movie and all that, The Secret, did come out. But yeah, we really need to focus on the things that's beautiful to think that way and all these things and believe that all these wonderful things are there for you, because they are. But there must be action. There must be a way of it behaving. And the circumstances kind of do show up in that way. And whether you had won a trophy or not, you know what? Just by you knowing that you did that you got up and you did it is huge.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that, because I often say that, we have no guarantee that you're going to reach a certain level of success. I had no guarantee I was going to get a trophy. I had no guarantee this business idea I have is going to work. I had no guarantee. But I just want to be the girl who went for it. And again, that's back to your values. I just want to be the girl that went for it. I do not want to get to heaven and say, God, I didn't use everything you gave me. Yeah, no, I didn't use it. I just kept it all to myself. No, I want to say I tried to use it all up. So I want people to fall in love with being the person that's going for it.
Aww.
Because there is joy in that. There's joy in that. And that's very different than being attached to the outcome. It's like finding the fun and joy, as cliche as it is, in the journey. That's what that means. It's, I'm being the person I want to be in the journey.
Yeah, not when I get there.
Now, the statistics show when you live late, you're much more likely to reach the outcome you want, so that's a win-win.
Yes, that's not a bad thing to have, just in the back of your mind, a little bit, a little bit of fuel.
Pretty sure this strategy is going to work for me. Because the principle, there's promises behind principle. And that principle is, you take inspired action long enough, you can't help but succeed.
Right. Yes. I am dying to ask you this question. I want to wait to ask you it on air. You've actually, there's a picture of an action that you took that I can say this because I'm allowed to. I'm so envious. Oh my God. You got to meet Brendan Bouchard, which I'm freaking out over.
Oh my God. Bringing up my Brendan.
So how did that even, when I saw my jaw, okay, Oprah's awesome, but honestly, when I saw a picture of Brendan, I was like, what?
Brendan's my guy. Okay, so how did I end up doing that? I literally, this is the power of intention, the power of manifestation, the power of inspired action. So one was, I saw someone was going to his conference, and I said, can I come with you? So that was, I got to buy the ticket. You got to buy the ticket to play, right?
Yes.
And then that whole weekend, he has a 4-day conference. The whole weekend I'm thinking, how do I get a picture with him? And I realized I wasn't going to get one because he doesn't allow it.
Oh.
Well, there was a reception at the end of the 4 days that you could pay to go.
Right.
And I chose to pay. But here is the beautiful part of that story. I have just been reached out to from his company to work with him in a very private way. And it is a miracle that's unfolding in my life. And I will tell you that if you know me, it's been on my heart to work with Brendan for 2 years. And I will say things like, Brendan just texted me. Well, Brendan texted 3.5 million people in his autoresponder, and I will tell my friends, he just texted me. But here is the thing. This is my technique that solidified me working with Brendan. I call it the wondering technique, and it's going to blow your life up. The wondering technique is this. I wonder when I'll meet him. I wonder what he's going to say to me. I wonder how we're going to, play together and work together. I wonder how much fun we're going to have together. I wonder how it's going to happen. I wonder.
Oh, I love that.
Okay? So wondering, is there science behind the wondering that says your brain will find what you're looking for. If you go out and find all the white cars today on the they'll be everywhere, right? You will find what you go looking for. So all of my dear friends, when I told them I'm meeting with Brendan in person and working with him now, they said, "Of course you are." Of course you are, right? Because so set intention. Your brain doesn't know when it's telling a lie. It only knows what you tell itself. So if you tell yourself, I wonder who I can meet today. I wonder how I'm going to work with this person in my life. I wonder how I can add value to this person I'm having coffee with. I wonder who are the two most successful, happy women in this networking meeting that I can meet. I always find them. Always. And so live your life. That's what The Secret taught us. It's live your life with intention and manifest. And again, whether I had met Brendan on this side of heaven or not, I wanted to be the girl that lived with the joy of wondering.
Wow. That's so beautiful. I want to almost interchange the word wonder with magic. Like if somebody says, "Oh, this magical thing," like
totally.
wonder. Yes, it just sparkles like
miracle.
I just a fun share. What actually Brenda did for me, and I know it's so long ago. Actually, it was in 2010. I think I found him, and remember how you just said about borrowed belief?
Yes.
Nobody believed in me to ever speak because I speak very quickly, but I was determined that I really want to speak. And so when Brandon showed up, I went, "Oh my gosh, he speaks faster than I do." And I went, and he's awesome. And so I borrowed his belief that I could still do what I wanted to do and speak fast.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
That's the best story. So we still have 3 minutes, so I'm so excited. But you do, people can work with you. Sure, you can work with Brenda, but people get an opportunity that they can work with you. And it's everything from masterminds to one-on-one to joining teams that you have. Can you share with us how, because I'm electrified right now, I'm buzzing. Oh
my God. You're electrified. Oh my God. There's two main ways to work with me as in coaching and my high performance thing. I have an academy that you can do online with me, and it's as little as $97 a month. You can have me as your coach personally 2 times a month. You get all sorts of trainings, weekly trainings. So imagine getting a training from me every week. And that's a 12-week program. And then, of course, I have one-on-one coaching. So if you want me to really, dial in and lock arms with you and get in the dirt with you and look at your business and look at your life and just really get amped and take it to the next level, we can do that. And then I have own events here in Reno, and we're taking them on the road, which is so exciting. We're taking my one-day live event, which is called Amped, Supercharge Your Success. We're taking that to different cities. And so if you would like to have me come and lead that in your city, I would love to chat with you about that. But the Amped life, to me, is an acronym. You're activated, motivated, productive, energized, and disciplined.
Oh, my gosh. That's my amped voice. That is, it's funny that you said amped, because of course I'm thinking amperage, and then I just said electrified. I'm like, oh wow, there's like a current going.
Right? Amped,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And so where would they go to find you? Just go right to your website?
Go to my website, thepsychologyofmission.com, and then I'm on Facebook as well.
Yes, and that's where they can see the fun pictures too. I just, everything about it is, I feel like you have just taken all the words that are so heavy and taken away their bad rap, and the helpful words like discipline, and I feel like you've taken all the other words that really needed softening and highlighting. I feel like you've done that. So that to me has been what is so valuable this last hour. And I know I'm cutting you off short, and there's only a minute left, but in this final minute, was there anything that you would love to share with people just about self-love and just missions and
Yeah, I would, Lisa. Thank you. I want you to know that you are enough, you do enough, You have enough. You always have been. And any thought that is not that is faulty learning and can be relearned. It's just false programming. And you can reprogram your brain and your life. And the AMP life is your best life. And it's your birthright. So go and live your best life.
And it's absolutely beautiful. And I'd like to share with everybody, there's one line that she writes in her forward. It is our humanity that is our common bond. And so you can actually be reassured that Erin was going to accept everybody with open arms and be able to offer something that you, if you're looking for freedom and want it, that I already have faith and trust that Erin can help you do that. So please, everybody, go check her out, get in touch with her, find out what's right. And thank you so much, Erin, for this lovely hour. It's just been incredible.
My heart is exploding. Thank you, Lisa.
Oh, thank you. Okay, everyone, we want to hear from you. Go to my Facebook page, Lisa Berry, Berry. Let us know that you were here or that you listened to the replay. And we'll see you again tomorrow for one more day of self-love. Woo! Okay, bye, everyone.